I know you say a coach's favorite game is when they win, but there's still a lot to correct. What needs to be corrected for you guys after those first two drives?
I mean, not a whole lot. They were a great defense. We had 3 really good drives before the turnover. Then they tightened up a little bit. They went to some more man coverage, and we had a lot of penalties and just missed a couple opportunities.
How big is this win today? I mean, this is probably your chief competition in the NFC, a team you lost to in the NFC Championship game a couple of years ago. Does it hold any more special value, exercising demons?
No, I don't. I think that's kind of a little bit stretching it there. It is week 3. Feels good, for sure. Could be some tiebreaker stuff down the line when you beat a team like this, but it's just week 3. There's, I think, what the Bears won and Vikings won, so there's 3 2-1 teams in the NFC North. That's the focus, but big win for us.
Yeah, along those lines, this is a really nice win, but it's September. Do you take anything larger or anything more from a game like this than the W?
Well, I think to look at it as a whole, you got to feel great about the defense. And that third category, the we-fence, as we call it, to have Pat punt the way that he punted, and then Ford, be around the ball almost every time. Keyshawn to catch the ball on the 1-yard line. Onside kick recovery. Kind of a phantom. It looked like running to the kicker penalty, and to have a special teams that's bare minimum breaking even, and today you feel like we actually won the advantage. That's nice.
2 tough road games in these first 3 to get out of this 2-1 for a team that's clearly still trying to figure out some stuff. I mean, are you content with that?
Yeah. I mean, if you would have said in the offseason we'd be 2-1 after 3 with these 2 tough road games, I'd say that's probably pretty good, considering that you would expect Minnesota and Tampa Bay to be, in the top 7 teams at the end of the season. So I feel good about that.
Hey, Aaron, how challenging was the heat for you individually and your team?
I felt pretty good. I think there was definitely some guys were sweating maybe a little bit more than normal, but I think they were actually pretty tired after those first 2 drives. We were 12 plays, I believe, and 14 plays. But I felt like our guys were pretty good. Kept our wind. We just had too many negative yards plays and penalties in the second half.
Aaron, did you have a chance to say anything to Dre after the game with that play he made?
To Dre? Oh, I talked to him right when he came off the field before the onside kick. He's a special player. He's coming into his own as a leader, but it always amazed me, even after a game like this, to think back to a couple years ago and that nobody really wanted him. And he was out there as a late signing free agent, and here he is. I think 14 tackles today, deflection at the end of the game. Says a lot about the type of person he is.
I think Romeo's the first guy with 8 catches not named De'Vondre since Randolph in week 1 in 2018. Did he prove you anything different today, or was kind of going to him out of necessity with the guys you had down?
No, we called some plays for him, and he made nice catches. The thing about Romeo that gives you confidence is majority of the time he catches the ball with his hands. I was teasing him at practice on Friday because he had a ball on the left sideline short, and he kind of bodied it, and I just was calling him a body catcher because he has such great hands. And then 2 plays later, I threw him this over-the-shoulder corner route, and he just went, he just has such great hands. A couple balls were off the frame today that he caught very nicely. He's learning. I feel like his route running seemed like was pretty solid today. But we'll go back and look at the tape and see if there's some more opportunities I could have given him.
Looked like you guys were going to close this out textbook, and then you had the 3 plays in a row, and the clock stopped. Anything that you would have done, should have done differently on those last 3 plays?
No, I mean, I like the calls. We didn't execute. On the action play with the crossers, that was a lack of execution. The Z is supposed to be over the top of the X. I think the X went too high, kind of interfered with Juwan, and that should have been a completion to Juwan. Inside field goal range, bada bing, bada boom, ball game. And then, third down, we just didn't have it to be open. So didn't want to throw it incomplete unless I had a high percentage throw. So, but first down was the key. If we just execute the right way, we're good.
I feel like considering the guy, the other playing quarterback of the team that playing with fire a little bit, giving him so many chances?
Normally, yes, but our defense was playing so good. You know, the only couple times they got into a rhythm, it looked like we caused turnovers. So, really proud of Nixon. You know, the guy busted on teams and then played a ton of snaps today at nickel for us. Sherm was out there some. Rasul was playing outside, you know, which he's been playing mostly nickel for all the offseason in camp. So really proud of those guys. And then, you know, 21 seems to have pretty quiet, you know, number of targets his way. So got to give him credit.
Just first glance, how'd you feel the rotation at left tackle went today?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice anything. I felt like it was an interesting idea, but it obviously worked out. I mean, Dave looked like he felt good. The protection I thought was great. I got hit maybe 3 or 4 times at 1 sack. That's kind of a dream type of day, especially against that front on the road. So really great job by the guys up front, and hopefully Dave is feeling better and can play a little bit more next week.
Hey, Aaron, what kind of context do you put on you and Brady being in the same game? Obviously, you don't play defense, but it attracts so much attention. So you're the winner this time.
All right. Listen, I have a ton of respect for him. He's been a trailblazer at the position for a long time. I'm thankful to be in the conversation with some all-time greats in this generation. I feel like I'm in that conversation, and it's been a lot of fun competing against Tom over the years, and it's always nice coming out on top because it hasn't happened that many times.
Sometimes the offense has to carry things, but can you talk a little bit more about, you kind of describe this as a we victory, like each piece of the team really had to come together to get out of here with a win tonight?
Well, I think that's always the case. Some games it's tilted a little bit more to one side, but offensively, we're young and we're struggling at times to finish things off. I think that's happened in obviously both of our wins and against Minnesota, where we had a lot of opportunities, but penalties and wrong routes and occasional bad decision has kind of hurt us. So we were a couple plays today from really making it, bare minimum 17-3 there going into half. If I throw a better ball to Jonesy, maybe splits Vita and I believe it was Devin there and scores, and it's 21-3. Then you're really playing downhill the way our defense was playing. So we have to tighten some things up. Second half, we had a lot of opportunities. We had negative yardage plays. We had penalties. Had a turnover. So we got to just tighten things up a little bit. But when our defense is holding them to 12 points, we're going to win probably all those games.